Dial star 515 hash to subscribe.
Hello and welcome. This is Midday News Update. I am Rex Later. Christians in Papua New Guinea, irrespective of denomination, have been invited to participate in the Pope's visit, as it is a historical but important visit, bringing much hope, joy and peace to a nation that is on the peripheries of the world. President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Papua New Guinea and Solomon Islands, and Bishop of Bereina Diocese, Bishop Otto Separi, made this call in light of the hate and negativity propagated by a few on social media.
With preparations for the Pope's visit advanced, Bishop Otto Separi reminded Papua New Guinea of the age of Christianity in the country, describing the church in PNG as a very young church compared to churches in Europe, which are thousands of years old. And he said for the Pope to decide to visit PNG, which is not just a young church, but one that's at the peripheries, brings much hope to this young church.
Now the Pope coming to us is coming because of this. Go out to the ends of the earth. And I think Papua New Guinea is the ends of the earth. We are the peripheries of the world compared to civilization, compared to Christianity. We are almost about 100 years ago, 150 years ago, maybe 40 years ago. We are very young in terms of Christianity. So the Pope coming to us is following the words of Jesus. Go to the ends of the earth and visit my people in Papua New Guinea.
He called on Papua New Guineans to see the Pope's visit as a visit to the Oceania region and not just PNG. He also called on all Christians to pray for this visit to be a success and urged everyone to take this visit as an enrichment to their spiritual journey instead of buying into all the negativity that's been spread by people with ulterior motives.
I would emphasize we all Christians must pray that the Pope's visit must be a success. You know, we talk about all kinds of things happening in our country, violence, hatred, killings, murder, rape, and all kinds of things, marriage problems. These are problems of spiritual life. So I believe the coming of the Pope will emphasize the Christian values in our marriage life, in our everyday life, respecting the human person.
Archbishop of Port Moresby Archdiocese, Sir John Cardinal Ribat, highlighted the importance the Pope has placed on PNG by choosing to visit.
And is now turning 88 this year. And therefore, he could have said, I've heard so many news about PNG, and maybe it's better that I do not go. But no. At his age, and with all his issues also about health, he still decided to come.
And with the nation going through tough times, Cardinal Ribat said this was the opportunity to join hands in prayer and seek God's healing on this land.
And for us, we have gone through also a lot of difficulties in our time. There is violence. We've gone through the Black Wednesday here in January 10th, and fighting, killing, and natural disasters. All these things has been part of our life until this time. And you know, we are praying for peace. We are praying for healing from all this. We are praying for renewal. We are praying for all this peace and unity and so on in all these things. And you know, the coming of Pope Francis helps us to be able to arrive at this, because he's a leader of state, he's a leader of a state, and also he's a leader in church, a spiritual leader.
Meantime, the PNG Council of Churches, which includes the mainline churches, are together in this. Salome Vincent, TVWAN News.
Book Bilong Pikinini unveiled their latest reader, When I Grow Up, I Want to Be a Hotelier, at the Grand Papua Hotel recently. The event featured role model Dorothy Maria and young professional Jaya Hane Solian, and included a hotel tour and table-setting activity for children from the Vabukoli Village Library Learning Center. The reader is part of the Wigu series, which explores various careers and promotes literacy. It's supported by Steamships, Grand Papua Hotel, and Sir Brian Bell Foundation. The series is available at Theodist and from Book Bilong Pikinini. Papua New Guinea's musical talents are gaining global recognition as reggae sensation Enslom Nakikus and renowned producer Toxic Man makes headlines. Nakikus, celebrated for his culturally rich music, recently performed at the Pacific Arts and Culture Festival in Hawaii and was honored with a U.S. Musical Award. He is now set to travel to Atlanta with his team thanks to sponsorship from the National Cultural Commission to compete at the International Singer-Songwriter Association Awards on August 24, 2024. Toxic Man, the stage name of Emmanuel Maganawa, has also achieved significant acclaim as a finalist in the ISSA Awards. His work as a producer on Nakikus's nomination, tracks Break the Barrier, Giant Train and Jailbird, has solidified his reputation in the industry. Both Nakikus and Toxic Man will celebrate at the ISSA Awards ceremony in Los Angeles on August 25th. This recognition highlights Papua New Guinea's growing influence in the global music scene.
In Los Angeles, this is called the Intercontinental Music Awards. It's based in LA.
The 10th Asia-Pacific Mediation Forum, which was hosted for the past 3 days, ended yesterday. Governor General Grand Chief Sir Bob Dadai officially closed the ceremony. In a small yet significant closing ceremony of the 10th Asia-Pacific Mediation Forum yesterday, Governor General Sir Bob Dadai graced the conference with his presence to officially end the forum. In his closing remark, Dadai is hopeful that the outcome of the conference will resonate across the Pacific region and beyond, fostering peace, understanding, and a deeper connection to the environment. Elaborating further on the theme, regional challenges, regional solutions, global outcome, Sir Bob Dadai said using mediation to resolve environmental and climate change disputes is a powerful tool for harmony and sustainability, where legal professionals, especially lawyers, play a pivotal role in mediating climate change disputes at the community level. He said the legal profession must take ownership and lead when issues arise in the face of climate crisis. Dadai added that the exchange of ideas for the past 3 days of the conference created dialogues that resonated with the challenges of environmental law and climate change. It is satisfying to see the commitment of all parties that explore the role of mediation as the mechanisms of conflict resolution. He said the contribution of the members has shown that mediation is not only a tool but a pathway to sustainable solutions that honor our diverse cultures and rights. The Governor-General urges the participants to transfer what they have learned from the forum to the people in the community to ensure the knowledge is not kept only with the person but shared with the community. Turning overseas, a woman and her 2 children have survived a terrifying encounter in Sydney's west with her estranged husband, who was armed with a gun. Police say they travelled from Victoria to hunt them down. He also shot a random member of the public who is now recovering in hospital.
A woman was seeking refuge at her parents' Auburn home with her 2 children. They're from Victoria and she was trying to escape her husband, but last night he found them.
The male became enraged, has smashed the front window of the premises and forced open the front doors but did not enter the premises.
The 50-year-old went to the house just after 10 p.m. armed with a gun. He pointed it at his father-in-law, who is in his 70s, and pulled the trigger, but it failed to fire. He then turned the gun towards his mother-in-law and fired a shot into the house, which missed everyone inside.
We heard the bangs and the people were screaming. Very scary.
I'm very thankful at this stage that we don't have yet another DV-related homicide on our hands.
The man left the home and tried to carjack another man and his teenage daughter nearby. He fired a shot into their car, hitting the 55-year-old driver in the neck. He was taken to hospital in a stable condition.
Traumatic experience for his daughter that was in the car at the time that managed to contact 000.
The gunman was found dead in a nearby creek several hours after he targeted his family. The couple had been together for 23 years and have 2 children, a 20-year-old son and a 15-year-old daughter. They were both here last night when their father fired a gun into the home.
There's a lot of shock and distress in the family at the moment, and the wealth of support is going around the family to ensure that we're providing everything humanly possible.
Police say there were no recent reports of domestic violence involving the family in New South Wales or Victoria. But detectives are still investigating what led them to flee their home state.
With the ACT election campaign on the horizon, the 2 major parties are exchanging barbs over Canberra's education system. The Barr government has agreed to implement improvements recommended by an independent review released in May. However, the Canberra Liberals are now trying to convince families and teachers that they would provide a better alternative.
Despite reassurances from teachers, by year 2, Emily Lewis's son was still struggling with reading.
I think it became clear that the school didn't have the systems or the resources in place to try and bridge that gap along with us, so that's when we sought out an external tutor.
Emily is frustrated she had to seek support outside the public system.
There's a lot of private tutoring places in Canberra that are extremely expensive, like thousands of dollars per term, and it's just impossible for many families to be able to afford external tutoring.
In May, the ACT government agreed to implement recommendations of an expert panel on literacy and numeracy over 4 years, with $25 million in June's budget to increase teaching consistency, conduct phonics testing in year 1 and provide multi-tiered support along with extra resources. The opposition doesn't think it's enough.
The Canberra Liberals have costed our policy to fully fund and fully implement the evidence-based approaches to improving literacy and numeracy, and that's at $98 million.
The Liberals are also promising more funding to improve classrooms and annual $200 vouchers for teachers.
We have heard from many teachers that a lot of the times they are putting their hand into their own pocket to purchase school supplies.
The Education Union has given the policy top marks.
The education plan announced by Elizabeth Lee today shows that she has listened to Canberra's public school teachers, and we certainly welcome that, and we welcome the constructive dialogue that she's engaged in.
But the Chief Minister argues the opposition is simply copying his government's homework.
We have already budgeted hundreds of millions of dollars, more than $600 million for work across our public education system. So an announcement today from the Liberals of only an extra $25 million, I don't think will achieve what they are stating it will.
Parties' plans to be tested at the polls.
In sports, Team PNG chief demission and athletes were accorded a welcome reception this week for their dedication, hard work and sportsmanship at the recently concluded 2024 Paris Olympic Games. They were joined by representatives of corporate sponsors and partners, including national federations and families.
A small but significant welcome reception was held at the Gateway Hotel, Port Moresby on Monday evening. The small team of 6 athletes and team officials were congratulated for being excellent ambassadors for Papua New Guinea on the world stage. PNG was represented in 5 sports: Leonie Bao in athletics, George Tarara and Georgia Lee Vele in swimming, and John Omer in boxing participated in an invitational capacity. Moria Baru in weightlifting and Gibson Mara and Kevin Cashman in taekwondo qualified on merit. The PNG OC, with Pacific All Sports funding through the Australian Olympic Committee, enabled both Gibson and Kevin to compete at the Oceania Championships that qualified them for the Games. PNG Olympic Committee President Emma Waiwai expressed her gratitude to Team PNG Chief de Mission Brian Pinney and the general team for their efforts and commitment to the Games. In closing, the President also extended her gratitude on behalf of Team PNG through our Prime Minister's corporate golf and Trukai Fund Run events, adding the contributions are invaluable to Team PNG's ongoing success. Meanwhile, preparations begin now for the 2028 Olympic Games in Los Angeles in 2028. Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
That's the news at 12. Join us for more news and sports at 6 p.m.